Thank you for being here. Are you ready to have some fun? And learn at the same time? All right, let's do it. My education story began in 10th grade. In 10th grade, I would sit in the back of my geometry class and watch Mr. Nichols draw shapes on the board and wonder, why are we learning this? Ever feel that way? I was a pretty bold kid, so one day after class, I walked up to him and I asked him, "Sir, why are we learning this?" And he didn't know either. After a short but awkward pause, he looked at me and said, "George, learn it now to use it later." To a kid whose main focus in life was to play sports, socialize, and looking for a date for the prom, was learn it now to use it later a good response? I don't think so. I went straight to my school counselor and I asked her, "Ma'am, how much math do I need to take in order to graduate?" She told me only up to 10th grade. So what do you think I did? I stopped taking math, which was a big mistake. Fast forward to college, where all my friends and I declared computer science as our major. But in order to get placed in the program, we had to take entry-level exams in reading, writing, and... My reading and writing were fine, but when it came to math, I went straight to remediation into a class called college algebra. Ever hear of it? Luckily, I was able to recall the formulas from high school and got an A. But that strategy didn't work in pre-calculus. I went straight to tutoring, and those guys only helped their friends and the girls that they liked. So I had to hire a tutor. I hired this guy named Shawn. He was a master computer programmer and mathematician. And on the first day of tutoring, I said, "Shawn, if I'm learning about computers, why in the world am I taking 4 high-level math courses?" Shawn said, "George, a computer is made up of 2 things, hardware and software. Hardware is anything you can touch, anything tangible. Software are the applications, the apps that make the hardware work." Now, I'm going to date myself. This was 1997, and I didn't own a computer yet. Like my son says, I was born in the late 1900s. It was 1997. I didn't own a computer yet. I looked at Shawn and I said, "I have no idea what you're talking about. Hardware, software, none of it makes sense." Now pay very close attention, because this is the most important part of the story. Shawn was a great teacher because he understood 2 things. Number 1, differentiation. As we all know, differentiation means to teach the same thing in multiple ways so every kid could get it. But number 2, engagement. He knew how to connect the interests and passions of young people to academic content by asking a simple 2-part question. What do you like to do, and what are you passionate about? I was 18 years old, so I said, video games. He said, "Okay, take Street Fighter." Do we all know Street Fighter? When 2 Street Fighters are fighting and one strikes the other in the face, the algorithm will only allow you to do one of 3 things. Either he will block, he'll duck, or he'll get struck in the face. Please give me a thumbs up if you follow this logic. Shawn then showed me a flowchart representation of that basic algorithm and explained to me that a computer programmer wrote a logic block of code using conditional statements, if, else, and then, to make that happen. And as a Street Fighter jumps around the screen and uses other techniques, more complex algorithms are written within data structures to make that happen. That was the first time a teacher ever connected something I'm learning in school to something that I actually care about. I got a B in pre-calculus and an A- in calculus. Let me get some snaps. Fast forward to graduation, where I got a contract for $37,000 to work for an IT firm in New York City. And I thought I was rich. I ran through the computer science department at SUNY Old Westbury in New York. I bragged to all my friends. Then I went home and did the same thing. And my aunt, who was a teacher, heard me talking this way. She pulled me aside and said, "Young man, listen. You need to be a teacher. You have a very unique way of explaining things, And we need that in the classroom. We need that in education. And to be honest, at the time, I didn't see teaching for myself. And I definitely didn't see all of this and all your beautiful faces for myself either, because I didn't have the confidence I have now. Please raise your hand if you ever felt that way. But I learned this, and this is the second most important part of the story, so please don't forget it. The most important thing in life are relationships. And I'll repeat that so we can write it down if you need it. The most important thing in life are relationships. And when people see potential in you that you don't see in yourself, and they like you, they have to like you, they're going to help you. And sometimes they'll even create an opportunity for you. She and the principal at her school, they created a summer school class for me to teach middle schoolers about technology and computers for about 5 weeks. I thought I would do that job for the 5 weeks and then move on to all my other dreams. But that summer, I met 25 kids who changed my mind, changed my heart, and changed the entire trajectory, not just of my career, but also my life, which is why I'm here today in Ohio with all of you as your keynote, and why I do what I do now.